everyone, good morning. It's just a chat with Bumi Alabi. Once again, how are you doing? And how is the year running so fast? January is almost ending. And for you people that you are saying, oh, I'm still planning in January. I believe, like I was saying sometimes that I think December should be a time to plan for January. Not that January you are just planning. At least at the same time, there are some things we still brainstorm in January, but don't let it be too long because before you know it, January will be over. So how are your plannings? How are your goal setting? How are the things you say you are going to do in January? I know it's not easy to say, and I know it's very important for us to plan because if you don't plan, people that fail to plan, Abby, they plan to fail.
Plan to fail.
You understand? So it's very important for you to plan well before you embark on any journey. And like we say, like you said the other time, I said always put God first in your planning. In everything, the scripture says we make our plans, but God has the final say. Anything you put in God's hand, it's going to succeed, not by your own wisdom or your power. So, whatsoever plans you have for 2025, I want to do this, I want to do that, always put by God's grace, God willing, I want to achieve this, and you see it coming to pass. That's my word to encourage you for a start today. And I'm not going to be alone doing this. God has blessed me with wonderful people, and some of them are here seated with me to talk about the discussion today. On my right here, please welcome with me Lady Avalon.
Good morning. Thank you.
Avalon Kitchen, Avalon
Avalon Travels.
Avalon Travel, Avalon everything, Avalon Mother, Avalon Children Ministry, Avalon Avalon Counseling Therapeutic Center. I'm trying.
This
This
one
is marketing I did not pay for. It's
appreciate it.
So how's it going? I the planning, the structuring. I know new business are coming up, and I'm so happy for the new dimension of business. I'm so happy, and I pray that God will grant us speed. God grant us speed and fulfillment of purpose, because that's the ultimate. When we are fulfilled, when we are happy doing what we're doing. I always say, fire, we want to make money, but what you are doing, are you happy with it? Do you enjoy doing it? It's very, very important. God will grant us success. This year is our year. Yes, we are breaking the limitations.
Yes.
We are crossing.
And success is succeeding in the middle of God's will.
Yeah, exactly.
We are
In the
creators
middle
of
of God's
ones.
will. Yeah, that's very important.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for coming.
So much.
And on my left here, we have Mother than Mother Day. Mother of all I purposely invited her for this discussion because I know that, hey, in fact, I know that she's going to, she's going to, you understand, because the video that I saw that made me decide that I must bring her here. In fact, by the time I tell you about it, I know some of you must have seen it. But please welcome with me our one and only mommy. Let me call you mom because I know you are still a young. Lady Mrs. Blessing all the way from from Kogi State.
Good morning, everyone.
Yes,
It's nice to be here.
yes, we love to have you around. Whenever, anytime, once it is December and January, she's always joining us on as a team of Just a Chat. We are super excited to have you here.
Talking about January, this is the month for bills to be paid. So
Are you remembering?
house rent. So everybody, thank God for the holidays. Face reality.
And money has been spent.
So you have to
that's what somebody was saying, that when people were buying chicken, I must buy live chicken. Chicken of 35,000.
Nigerians, Nigerians, you know one thing. One more pay. See, let's spend this money. Even if we don't sell them, they will only keep some.
That's not a good financial. It's not good.
It's not good.
Because by the time you spend it, and you face the reality of paying some bills, that's why it will be done on you. And you'll be remembering the chicken. You enjoying that chicken.
The constellation Nigerians have.
Cook up stories.
We not get the money.
But the reality is, it's always important for us to to plan well,
Yes,
proper planning, financial planning. It's always important. January is a time to pay bills. Actually, that's the reality. You know, as you said that, I just became more humble. And I was like, God, my friend looks up to you.
I look to you.
But I know God is able, and I know
Yeah,
God is
God
able
is
to
able.
sort bills for parents, because I know a lot of parents are going through this actually, because having children, paying children's school fees, we're buying shoes, taking them to school. You know, my son was saying something maybe some days to resumption, and he was telling me that he said another time to be buying fuel. My other was like, why are you reminding me of this? I was like, oh God, not Karama, but it's reality. No, he didn't want him to talk about
You know, when there's no
it.
school, you could choose when to go out.
Yeah.
But now that there's school, you don't have a choice. You
Yeah,
have to go. You know,
all the same. We
Yeah,
move.
we give God
We
praise.
move. It's not by how much we have or how much we have saved, but we know that we are just living every day by the grace of God. And as it comes, we are living it, and we're fulfilling it. In as much as you are living within your limit, and you are still trying to do one or two things, you are not you're not relenting, you are not holding back, you are pushing. So, and with God backing you up, yes, the sky is your starting point. True. Yes, absolutely. All right, let's go to the reason why we are here today. You know, this I said that the reason why I brought these mothers of their mothers here. Me, I know I love children, but you know, these ones, they are mommy where they pamper, they feel pamper children, but me, I know I be no nonsense mama, but this one, they are good at pampering children. Everywhere that child is even doing something wrong. You know, there's a video that is trending online, has been trending for some days now. And when I saw that video, honestly, me myself, I felt so hot. It was really, really traumatic to watch. I couldn't watch it for a long time. You know, where we saw a teacher beating a minor, a child, as in that child should be like maybe 6. It shouldn't be up to say to 10 years. Yeah.
Like 5, 6, 7.
The way he was hitting, not even beating, hitting his head just because she wanted him to write 6. Well, as in, I was really, really it was so traumatic to watch. I know a lot of you will have watched that video, but you know, we've been talking about this, and I went through the comment section. Honestly, in all honesty, kama paro, kama Charlie. If you want to be true to yourself, a lot of us have done this. A lot of us, actually, the truth is, most of us, our parents have done this to us growing up, and a lot of us have done it before, and a lot are still doing it now. You've not done it, so yeah, put up your hand. Yes, me, I know. I did. Yeah, you've not done it.
You've not beaten a child, your child.
I'm beating a child, but not like that woman.
I don't say,
You don't say like that. But you have beaten your child.
I shouted on their head, so we are all guilty. So thank God, we are all guilty. You set it in brain. You know, honestly, you know, a lot of us, you know, because that's where our parents really trained us. That's where they saw that is the perfect way to correct us. I remember sometimes, you know, this one, my dad of blessed memory. I know my brother might be watching this now, but I think it's very important to, you know, my dad used to like tea. He likes tea so much, you know. He used to drink before, so he now used tea to replace that drinking beer and the like. So anything that had, if you touch my dad's tea, anything that has to do with his tea, cup, sugar, anything, you are in trouble. So my brother now too, you know, they extensively sugar. You know, he took cubes. So he took the sugar. He took from it to do something. And when my dad came, you know, he knows when it is missing.
Yes.
So when he came back, he saw that the sugar is missing. He said, "Who took this thing?" I went to him. I said, "I did." He did. I was not the one. But I said I did because I knew that he would not beat me. So I said, "No, you are not the one." And I said, "Okay, I'm not the one. It's my brother." Child.
Very good.
And then we were living upstairs. The downstairs, the down part of the house was still under construction. So there's this pillar in between the middle of our house. And my dad just took my brother, you know, as yellow papa as he is, he just took him and he took rope and he tied him around the pole and he spanked the hell out of him. And all his body was, and my brother was just shouting one thing, Miokishole, because he was like, it's only a criminal that they treat like that way, you know. Anytime we talk about that, he would just be like, to him, he thought, you are stealing that because you stole sugar. If they ask me, what did your child do that you stole sugar? You understand? But he was like, I've taught you not to steal, you still steal. That if you are stealing sugar, you grow up to be, now he's an engineer, he's doing well. But he thought that was the only way to correct him. But it left a trauma, a memory to him, that if he's not careful and intentional, he will be so aggressive on his own child and thinking that, okay, I must shout, I must use that corporal punishment to correct or to train them. So corporal punishment, physical punishment, is it the right way to even treat children, to teach them good morals, good value system?
Honestly, it is not
because looking at the woman now, she was trying to teach the child how to write. She was doing the right thing,
using the wrong approach.
So let me hear your view about it.
Honestly, I remember, like I was saying before this, I remember the time my mother was cooking, preparing semo. Is it semo? Yes. They will do the pete. That thing is very hot.
Yeah.
She asked me to bring something and I hissed.
Wow.
With the pete and everything.
And just
lie on my head. The goat is flattered on me. I saw hot. He said, next time when your mother is talking to you, you don't hiss.
Why did you use that time?
As a child now. You are never is your mother in silence on your open.
In silence. If you don't kind of mother you have, you dare not loud.
But all of us assist.
But my point is, with all these measures they used on us then, has it solved any problem in the street? Is the country not getting worse?
But to be realistic,
okay.
To be realistic, there are some things they did to us that it imbibes some fear.
Sorry.
Did you ever eat again at your mom?
I will see it, so it doesn't stop me from
inside.
No, I won't use it
outside. Sorry, what that thing did is to create distance.
That's true.
Among a lot of us. The distance was not immediate. It was not.
That fear you were talking about, ma, it's not the issue now, because most of us were so fearful that even till now it's still affecting us.
Yes.
We are not able to express ourselves outside. You understand? And we as a parent, I for one, has chosen not to use that method. There are better ways of punishing children nowadays. One of them, you study the child. This child likes watching film, likes watching video. Put an end to it. This one loves reading. Okay, if you are not doing your work, go and face the wall. You lose concentration for some times. It's not until you start inflicting bodily harm on a child, all in the bid that you want to correct that child, or you want to train that child, you want to teach that child. It is not right. It has not helped us in any way. It has not.
I think, like you said, sorry, before you call me, like you said, that they were doing the right thing, using the wrong approach.
Yes.
Fine. They didn't want us to be stealing. They didn't want us to lie. They didn't want us to be disrespectful. All those things, fine. The approach they used, it stopped us. It stopped us to an extent. But do you know that it's still... Yeah, it comes a
it's
lot.
It's not all children.
Depending on the child, it made some children to be more rebellious.
Yes.
And to even do worse things.
Yes.
And it created fear and distance.
Yes.
So it will stop that thing temporarily, but it will get to a state that a child will be like, I'm still going to do this thing. Come and do your work. I've heard a child told me that I want to punish my parents. I want to do this. I want to. You've seen children that they say, I want to go and get pregnant. Okay, you'll be saying, do this child. You are too wayward. Girl will say, I want to go and get pregnant. You come and do your work. You understand? So, a lot of our parents have missed their children just because of this, being too aggressive and using a very wrong measure to correct us, and to train us, which it's really, we chose to be what we are.
Yes.
It's not about the punishment. The punishment can create fear, but we made a decision that, okay, this is what I want to be. You understand? There will be a stage, there's what they call adolescent stage. And that stage is a stage whereby different children
with
different
character.
There are sometimes that children will lie. Normally, all of us, we have lied before. We have stolen something from the pub, some things. We have done all this. So when we see our children do this, we do that. Don't do this, but no. They will see, so they will outgrow that stage.
Yes.
You understand? But there are better ways to train to handle this. Let me hear your home view on this.
Okay, for on the video. Okay, after watching the video, the woman said, "It's my child." Whether it's your child or somebody else's child, that approach is very wrong. And relating it to the comments on maybe the way our parents trained us, every parent wants their child to be better.
Absolutely.
But I want parents to understand that there is a time your child needs you, and that is the time you are parenting the child. There will be a time your child will be the one parenting you. I'm sorry, maybe not parenting now. Let me say taking care of you. I'll give an instance. When my dad was sick, at his 70s, going to 80, he made a statement. He said, I never knew my children would take care of me like this. Why? Because of the way he disciplined us so much. There was so much fear. You will not do anything wrong in front of my father. You will not even other children on the street. My daddy was called Baba Custom. If my daddy is coming with his car and he is awning from the entrance of the street, if you are playing ball, you will take your ball away. So, not talk of us, we children. So it created that fear. So when we grew up, I tell my daddy, I said, Daddy, you were too strict. So it created that distance. Not that I don't love my father. I loved my father. But it was that distance that I couldn't hug. I couldn't love. I couldn't transfer my own love, express my own love to him. So I'm saying that if you want a child to learn, I say something about stages. There's a stage a child will lie. Everybody believes that teenagers are very rebellious. It's in psychology. They taught us in psychology. At a particular stage, you teach a child, don't steal. At a particular stage, a child will be stubborn. I personally, because I wanted to be an intentional parent, I didn't want to go through my daddy's route. I had to go and learn parenting, and I took a study on it. In fact, last month, I saw something online, how to stop yelling and shouting on a child. If you want to register, come and register. Just like you said, a lot of parents we're trained like that, and we are still using that same style. So how do we help ourselves not to fall into this woman's category? Because some people are still doing this. She's just unfortunate that our own is viral.
And the truth is, this is not the first time.
This is not the first time. So she can have anger issues, she can transfer aggression on the child, but this is not the best way that she would have handled this child.
Before you move forward, there's another thing we parents are not noticing. There are children that are dyslexia. That they might not be good in the writing things, but they are very good in other things. They are creative, intelligent. Very good. My own son didn't start reading until he was in JSS2, going to JSS3. He could not blend words together. But today he could read anything, and he's doing so well because we knew that, okay, this boy is as if he has a deficiency here, and we worked him, not by caning him. We took him through the process, and today he's a better person. So some parents don't even know. You can't be comparing your own. And another thing is that a male child is different from a female child. Female children grasp easily.
Yes.
Boy child finds it difficult. They take it one step at a time, and once they are able to get it, that is it. Even for the girl to meet up. So some children are dyslexia. You don't have to be too harsh. You have to study the child, know the child's weak point, and work on it.
So in relation to what you're saying, sometimes we don't discover that our children are part of us. If you take study on your child, you see that there is something your child is speaking from you.
Yes.
The children that have delay.
You guys didn't enter.
Okay, children that have delay. Okay, we don't understand that our children pick a lot from us. I studied my daughter, and I realized that there are some things that she's doing that I did when I was small. So I had to be patient with her and say, okay, see, this thing I did it. Don't go through that route. So if we take a stand and say, okay, let me study this child. Where is it? Is this child not writing well? Is he not going fast in that area? I'll still talk about the place of age appropriate. So take a time, take a study about yourself and see how that child is reflecting you. I had a child when I was teaching, at least I was a teacher before. The how I had this challenge. The dad is an instrumentalist. I had to call the father and say, see, this boy is not ready to learn. He passed through different classes. That same problem, he was still having it. I had to tell the dad, see, let's be patient with this child. For me, I'm not going to beat this child again. I'm not going to force this child to write. All the teachers, that even the head teacher, has beaten, and he has not changed. I said, let's be patient. This child will come, there'll be a time that this child will be ready to learn. But for now, please, let's be patient with him. And I asked him, is there something that is good at home? He said he loves music. I said, can we read him on that line a bit and allow him just to leave this book? But he still comes to school, but don't force him. He will be ready at his own space. You understand? So we need to understand that as parents too.
And I think this goes to a lot of educationalists,
Yes.
as in teachers, school owners. I think there was a time that we dealt with a report by one of the teachers that wrote something
Yes.
about
Very
the guy
popular,
is a very popular guy now online,
Yes.
and he now brought the report of the teacher, and the teacher said the boy is so he wrote a lot of she wrote a lot of things about the boy, that she's not focused, he's not serious
Not
in
ready
class,
to
he's
learn.
not ready to learn, he can't write, he can't do that. And I was like, what kind of teacher would do
Is
this?
this?
So I think our school owners should really work on their teachers, their staff, who they recruit. You know, you don't just people, you know, we've seen school as a place whereby people that don't have that just need a very easy work to do, they just go and apply. They don't have the basic foundational knowledge, they don't have the basic professionalism to be a teacher. You understand? Somebody that is just a school cert holder, that doesn't even go through any counseling. He didn't go through any counseling stage, he didn't go through any certificate in counseling or how to a child counseling, and he just said he want to be a teacher. So by the time we recruit the right people to teach children, that's the aspect of the school owners, because this is about school now. You understand? And parents too. When you are forcing your child, I want my child to be writing what by now you should be writing 1 to 1,000.
Because you are comparing.
You're comparing because you are like, I want this child to finish school on time. I remember my younger son, my older son. There are two scenarios that happened. My younger son began to he didn't have the eagerness to go to school again, and I asked him, now, why don't you want to go to school? And he said, my teacher always complain. He always complain about me in class, that I'm giving him so much problem, that because the same teacher taught the brother. And it was like, he was now saying that my brother did not give her much strength.
Like this.
And as much as, you know, I now went to the teacher and I reported to the head teacher, and they called her. He said, I didn't know, I was just trying to make him smart. I said, no, that's not the right approach to make a child smart. Children are different. Even if they are twins, they are different. You can't compare child A to child B. So the approach you use to teach the older one might not work for the younger one. So don't compare children. So as school owner, you need to understand this. And as parents, don't force your child to be in a class that he can't really cope with. I had to tell when my child could not write, he does not write on time, he did not speak on time, and you were just giving him grade. You are giving him grade. I was like, somebody that does not know how to write, so why are you giving him grade? So they wanted to promote it. I said, no, he's not good, let him stay in that class. And the head teacher had to come to me and say, hardly could they see parents that would say, take it easy with my child, that just want their children to go double promotion. I said, no, I'm not in a hurry. So my child stayed extra year until he was able to read, to write on his own, not just that they are just giving him mark. I said, where did he get this mark? Somebody that is not writing, that is not talking. So I was very patient with him. And at the end of the day, in fact, the people that he was at the end of the day, he was now ahead of the people that would have been his mates by the time, because he was able to get admission into secondary school on time. So when we parents, we are not eager, we are not in a rush to put so much load, so much expectation on our children, and say, oh, by this time my child should be dead. Give your children that space of time. So I think that goes to the teachers and to parents as individuals too.
I think another thing is that, like, I had a friend then whose child was not good in reading and writing too.
Okay.
But do you know that it was the school that discovered that this child has a deficiency with his eyes? He
Hmm.
couldn't see what he was writing.
Wow.
It was the school that they now called the brother. Do you realize that this boy has issues with him? He will be writing something else from the board. What is seen on the board is different from what he's writing. They had to now take him to the hospital and found out that he had this squint. And the thing was affecting him.
Wow.
So they had to get him a glasses, and he's doing better now. Most times, like you said, the comparison is the issue. Oh, my friend's daughter is already in SS1. What are you doing in JSS2? They don't have the same destiny. They don't have the same life. But another thing, you said something now that the child was not writing well and they promoted him. School curriculum is not all about writing and reading alone. There are other things they look into before they award their grades. You understand? I quite appreciate the fact that you wanted, okay, these two things, he wasn't able to write and read, he should go back and learn that one. But it's not an issue that because he could not read and write, he should not be moved to the next class. It is not the reading and writing alone that is graded. There are other things that were graded to get him to that point.
Well, they don't even look at all. Then they used to do, maybe it is now that they are not doing, they used to do first position, second position, and I think they don't do that. But me, I believe that at least they should still give my child. Don't give him what is not, he doesn't know. Yes. Don't push him too hard beyond what he doesn't know. And I think we should really talk about how to now train a child, how to help a child. We'll talk about it in the academic way. We're talking about, that's why I talk about the teachers being trained well, trained how to teach a child to write ABC, to write Montessori, stroke, how you write stroke first, how you write curve, you understand? Yes, so some teachers don't know how to do that. They just expect them to be writing, you should be writing 6. That's how that child might be writing 6 like 9. We've seen children that write 6 like 9. It's a skill that teachers need to really learn about. So I think we should talk about that, how to train child to help them to learn academically well, and also moral values, how to instill moral values, because these are the things that makes that makes us get angry. And last, I want us to talk about parents or adults that have children around us. Children will provoke us. They will do things that will anger us. That's why a lot of us have gone through this before. A lot of us have been angered by these children before. Children at adolescent stage, they do a lot of things. Children, toddlers, they throw tantrums. They do things that could make us get angry, to beat them, to raise our hands at them. You see some people, they will fling the child. If a child is throwing tantrum, we've seen them a lot around us. It's around us. Yeah. So we need to talk about. So let's talk about how to instill these values, moral values, educational skill on our children, so that we can help people that are watching us.
For me, I will leave the academic aspect for the academician. Let's talk about the moral aspect. Okay. So you cannot give what you don't have. That's the first thing. If you want your child to be morally sound, you as a parent or as a school owner or as a teacher should show by example. You should lead by example. Now, a child is coming in, he sees you always yelling at everybody, and you come back again and say, it is not good to shout, it is not good to beat, it is not good to do this. You should lead. It's not do what I say, or do what I do, as in what you say, do it.
Children even learn by seeing
what you are doing. So that's the first thing. The second, that should be the second thing. The first thing is that you leave everything into the hands of God. You yourself should tell God, I don't know how to. You are the one that gave me these children. Help me to handle them. Help me to understand each child and be able to address that child's problem at time. Because some of us, because of what we have gone through in life, some people might even be, if you find out, I might not be correct, but you find out that the woman beating that child might be as a result of a broken relationship. Now transferring the aggression on that child. Some people might have issues in their house and they'll bring it to the school. And it is the children that faces the brunt of the whole thing. So the most important, we ourselves should live the life we want our children to live. Above all, we should instill the fear of God in them. How do you? It's not until you carry cane. Truly, people will tell you, the Bible says, train up a child. I know that's what the Bible tells us. But in training is not only about beating. There are other things that comes up with training to punish a child. Like I said earlier, you can ask a child, if you study your child, you know that this child, he likes watching video. You ask him to do something he's not doing. You as a parent, you are mandated to see such things from that child. Make sure the child carries out the instruction. You don't have to beat. And if you notice that this one is the type that loves books, my daughter loves books very well. She can stay inside the room reading. But when I do something, you are not doing it, I seize all your books. Go and do what I ask you to do first before you come on. Because she might be so engrossed in the novel that she may not do so. So these are the things that we take what they like to do, take it away from them. My baby, if you want Indomie, you are not eating anything. You are not taking it until you do what I ask you to do. Until you read what I ask you to do. You don't have to beat you.
So you deprive them of what they enjoy most, not using physical abuse of them. That's awesome. Thank you very much.
Okay. On my part, talking about the moral aspect, like Mommy said, be the first example to your child. Model what you want. And I'll relate it with having ear gates. Like our children have a way that information go into them. What they watch, what they hear. The music we parents even listen to. What are the kind of music we listen to? So allow your children, teach your children to understand that the lyrics of the music they listen to matters a lot. So if you want to model good morals to your child, the music you personally listen to, it matters a lot. Then the second thing is what you watch. If you want to teach morals, taking a child to church, reading the Bible, teaching them the word of God. Like mom said, the rod of correction. Rod of correction is also the word of God. Like I know. So teach the child through the Bible. That sometimes if I want to tell my child something, I'll say, the Bible says that this, and I'll show them, say, oh, mommy, are you sure it's in the Bible? Oh my God, God, help me, help me, help me, help me. And you see them praying it into their life. So allow the word of God to also be a rod of correction to them. So what the children watch, you can see them through their cartoons. The kind of cartoon they watch too. You can monitor it. There are so many cartoons that teaches morals. So allow those cartoons to also teach them morals. Then in the academic section, I'll talk about readiness to learn. How people will ask, how will I know that my child is ready? This child that we're talking about may not be ready for learning. There was a particular time my son was not ready to learn. I tried every means for him to read. There's this saying that if a child is finding it difficult to read, start with a Bible.
Yes,
that child will learn.
That's very true.
Just take a Bible and allow the child to start reading Bible.
That's
The
true.
child will learn
That's
to read.
true.
So at that, I used this system for my son, and it worked. You understand? So I will tell him, this is how I do it. If you get to a particular place, you cannot pronounce a word. I won't pronounce it for you. I will tell him, even spell it. Then when you spell it, I will not collect the Bible from you. When you spell it, the spelling will go into my mind, then I'll pronounce the word for you. So you can do that method. So how will I know when a child is ready to learn? When a child starts showing interest in picking a book. You understand? It's showing interest in picking a pen. That child is beginning to get ready for learning. When a child is reading short stories, I realize that my son will go somewhere and pick short stories and he'll start learning. That child is ready to learn. At that time, I'm not forcing him. I want to encourage him. Probably he comes home, and there was a day my son came and said, Mommy, they told me to write 1 to 500. How do I want to start? And I'll start him and I say, sweetheart, you can do it. At some point, when he says he's tired, I'll collect the pen. I say, go and sleep. In the morning, you will do it. The next day, if I say I cannot do it, I'll call the teacher. I say, please, for now, you cannot do it. Please, you will try. Because I have to also come in. I know that at that point I couldn't help him. And he has to, and I can't write for him. That's a bad thing parents will do. Collecting it and writing for the child. So know when the child went to pick short stories and learn. Another thing is, when a child wants to see a book and the printout, there's some letters that children cannot pronounce. So allow the child to be able to see that print, and it was okay, Mommy, is this thing this? You see that the child is beginning to get ready to learn. When you're going on the street, spell on the board for them.
There are bad scrolls on the television.
When it's about to, or ability to pick a sound. When the child when you're playing a song for the child and the child can listen to that sound and pick something, that child is beginning to get ready for learning. You understand? So knowing most letters and sound is showing that this child is ready to learn. Learning A, learning B. So ability for you to understudy your child. And I'll talk about building your child's confidence. How do you understand the uniqueness of your child? Number 2, say wrong as a parent when you're wrong. And number 3, please be available for their child. That's
the most important thing, be available.
Wow, that's awesome. That's awesome. I believe a lot of parents, a lot of teachers have learned a lot from this discussion, and I'm going to leave you with this. Number 1 thing, know the time. We talk about timing to teach children some things. Know that there are certain times that we call formative stage of a child between 0 and 7 years. That's the time that you create everything. You build this child with every values, everything, every teachings, every training you want, how you want that child to be. You understand that's the time you can instill those values. Because if you don't give that child a solid foundation during that formative stage, and the child is already a teenager, is already grown, it will be difficult for you to teach that child those systems, those values and that. So know the timing to teach. Like she rightly said that there's time for everything. There's time that you can teach some child some training. So it's not that when the child is now already a teenager, is already 18 and 19, that he or she already has a mind of his own. That's why you want to be instilling some value. Your child will challenge you. Mommy, I can't do that. But when your child is still 8, is still 6, when you tell them to go this way, they will still go that way. So know the time to teach a particular thing to a child. That formative stage is a stage whereby you can teach children some values. So teach them at the right time. Then I would like to conclude on this. As parents and as teachers, even as singles, people that are even looking forward to have a child, how are you working on yourself? You have anger issue. A lot of us, we have anger issue, and a lot of us, we are victim of this physical abuse by our parents. And this abuse, this corporal punishment, it affects an area of the brain they call amygdala. Yeah, and that's the same. And the effect of this on the child is it causes anxiety and depression on the child. So a lot of us, we've gone through this abuse, and it has affected us in a way that we believe that is the standard. So if you have anger issue, I believe before you even get married, these are the things that you need to work on. Work on your anger, because if you have anger issue, you can't be a successful parent. You can't be a good wife to your partner. So if you have anger issue while you are single, you can't control yourself. You're already trained. You're already doing throttle, raising hands at people. Then it will affect you, because your children will offend you. Your children will do things that will hurt you. So please work on your anger issue. If you have issue with your partner, maybe you are married, deal with it with your partner. Don't bring your child into this. Deal with it with your partner. There are times that our parents fight sometimes, and we don't even know as children then. So please don't transfer aggression on children. Please, let's take note of this, because it's going to help us a lot. We are trying to create a better society, a saner society, and whatsoever we instill in these children now is what they are going to grow up with. I pray God will help us all. As parents, we will not fail in the name of Jesus. On this note, this is where we're going to wrap it up on today's episode of Just a Chat. I believe you have learned a lot. Me, myself, have learned a lot. And we are all praying to become better. Nobody knows it all, but we are working towards being a best parent and a best individual. I pray God will help us. Till we come your way again, please watch this video, share it with someone, share with your partner.
Subscribe
and like and comment and drop your own view too. Till we come your way again next time on another interesting episode of Just a Chat. It's me, Bumela B, saying thank you very much, and thank you, Mrs. Oyeyibo and Mrs. Akinwelejo. See you again next week. Bye.